Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. We're very excited today. We got Jeffery and Josh from The Mood. Insert clapping here. How you fellas doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks for coming
What
out.
better thing to do on a night like tonight, for sure.
Well,
I love it.
that's good to hear. We have nothing better to do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thursday night. Yeah.
It's exactly what we should do on a Thursday night.
Mhm.
Right.
You bet.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming.
It was such a long journey all the way from Connors Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys both live in Morden?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
good.
then,
Yeah.
okay, so The Mood is practically a Morden band.
Well, for now we'll call it that.
Yeah.
We may by the end of the night we may call it something else. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Well, speaking
Who
of,
knows?
where did the name come from? Why The Mood?
Where did that?
Oh yeah. I always okay. How far and wide is this gonna go? Like I want to be honest.
How far and wide?
Well, go
You
for
go. You go, man. You came as a guest.
I know.
Rock and roll.
hang on. Reality check though first, okay? Reality check. I am a financial advisor in the community and held in a fairly high esteem throughout the region, and my living kind of depends on it.
Okay.
So,
Well, as much
far
as
can
you
I get?
want.
Well,
then
yeah,
it's-
don't go anywhere where you're not comfortable, I would say.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then people want to read between lines. It certainly would be welcome too.
Yeah. Some
Okay.
people don't have that gift, and others do.
So, when I was younger, I certainly participated in substances that perhaps were not legal and things that made you think about life in very deep ways.
Mhm.
And part of that, of my growing up, was all about expanding my mind and getting that sense and that feel of the world.
The Jimi Hendrix experience.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's part of it. That was that was my growing up for sure.
Sure.
Thank you for acknowledging that. And so when I play myself, I like to show some mood when I play,
Okay.
Yeah.
and that's really important to almost everything I play. I like to put my own mood and a spirit into it, and it's like almost a sadness and a happiness all at the same time. And the mood also fits great with our band because we can then do a whole bunch of things to create different moods.
Sure.
Mhm.
And what do you think?
I really think it's the diversity in what we play, what we put out, for sure. And then like whatever you're in the mood for. That's what I've always.
You guys should
Kind of-
sell mood rings. At,
Yes, yeah,
at
yeah,
Schweig.
sure, yeah.
Okay, you need to hook us up with some stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Some t-shirts and merch.
No,
and stuff.
that's a very clear direction for the name. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I had never thought of it. I remember when I first heard about you guys, I kept hearing the moon, like
Yes, yeah.
the celestial
Or the
body.
moon.
Also a good name.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
the moo, like cow, I've heard that too.
Okay.
Right?
The mood.
Yeah. So now when it hit you with a D,
Mhm.
what did you think?
I thought it was chill, like, because at that point I still hadn't seen you guys. I knew
Mhm.
that you were in the band,
Yeah.
and apart from you, I knew Gil, so I
Right.
knew I had no idea what to expect. And like, I've known Josh.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And-
can't remember the first time we met, but
I think I can.
yeah,
I think I can. I think there was a show going on in the Bowl here in Morden,
very possible.
and I think you and I chatted it
Like
up
the
that
back
day.
40 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be,
Oh,
It's very
cool.
possible. Yeah.
So who?
but a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, who's all in the band?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where I kind of alluded to from the beginning where I said the band might change the outcome. So
Yeah.
here's the outcome. Pretty early on in the conversation.
I'll just get you to go get a little bit closer to the
Sorry,
mic.
early on in the conversation. I'm just getting comfortable, right?
No, that's
Yeah, all
all
good.
good.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm having so
block
much
my
fun.
camera
Yeah.
angle.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you gotta move back a little bit with the microphone there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you're beautiful. We know it, Josh. What was the question? I'm sorry, lost the question.
Who's all in the band?
Oh yeah. So I was the founder. I met Josh. I'm gonna just give you how it kind of
Sure.
happened.
Yep.
Met Josh at a family gathering because my niece married his brother, and we were jamming outside, and he took a microphone and jammed with us, and I took him home the next day and said, now we're going to start a band. And then Gil came on because Josh kind of worked with him recently, and Gil used to play with Ray, our bass player, who played in a band called Slipstream, and they made a couple of albums and toured around. And Juno Award, like he's had some pretty good success, or Juno nominee.
Okay, good.
And then we had Robin Epp, and she's kind of been in church choirs, and she's a violinist and a violin teacher, very, very accomplished, and also a piano instructor as well. And who else do we got? Right.
Yeah. No,
So
this is where it kind of
yeah,
transitions.
we had a gal, her name is Shelley. She dropped out of the band, and we had, we just weren't gelling personally, but musically we were gelling really great. But it was just really hard to work together when you're energetically not the same.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
it has to be
Energetically, you got to kind of match because you got to get each other, right?
Yeah.
It has to be almost like a family dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this was just really tense, and finally, she decided to step down from it. And the trouble is, her husband is our bass player,
Oh,
and so he just left.
We're really getting into it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Wow.
okay.
all
So
right.
Ray left?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It just happened.
Shoot. I did not know that.
Right. Yeah. So this is real shit, and if you can, I don't know when this is coming out, but I think we'll have to put it public after today.
Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's now you are the first to hear about it.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've
cool.
never said it.
You heard it here
Yeah.
first.
That's
Good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
here on the green room.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we
So do
have
you guys-
we have 2 new bass players we're working with right now.
Okay.
And we also have a new singer, and she's a really cool gal from Philadelphia that I met at the art gallery about 3 weeks ago at an open mic.
Oh.
Open mic.
All right. So that happened.
Yeah.
It didn't record. No worries.
Yeah.
It was a ding for you
Oh, okay.
who are wondering what's going on.
Twice. Yeah.
That's
so yeah,
really cool.
that's and I
Awesome.
can't release the names yet because they're not in yet. But,
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
there's
fair enough.
some very accomplished people that are coming in that'll actually I feel it's going to improve our sound
Sure.
dramatically, and perhaps change it to a little more R&B soul type
Yeah.
sound.
Awesome.
So with these new people coming in, are you guys writing your own stuff then?
Yeah,
Yeah?
we are. Yeah,
that's
we're
awesome.
at that stage now. It's like
Yeah.
covers, man. Like they're like you can only
Well,
go
they're
so
fun.
far. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
fun. But
Yeah,
you
that-
gotta-
They get a little bit tired after a
stale.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like the whole thing you said earlier about putting a mood into it. Like I saw you play the Santana stuff at the 60 show,
Right.
and I could totally see like there are 2 types of lead guitarists. There's the technical type who learn it by listening and by seeing, and then there's a guy who listens and feels it.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
That's how I would put it. I'm a punk rocker, so I'm the shitty guitarist. So
No, I respect punk
Yeah.
rock
Yeah,
guitars.
for sure.
me too. I'm
Totally.
just being
Okay,
I'm
no,
just
no,
being
I know
funny.
that's the general idea out there,
Yeah.
but no, I definitely.
no.
Because
and
I just
appreciate
was in a
that.
punk band, or a little bit of a punk band, about a month ago.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In Winnipeg, a bunch of financial advisors get together every year and they do a
Yeah.
battle of the bands. They raise about $1 million for this, cumulatively now, for a thing called the Movement Center.
Oh.
And it's a charity, right? So it was Battle of the Bands, where it was about 5 bands.
Are you guys called the advisors?
We are called Brittany Spears. Okay.
Cool.
And do you guys like protest finance or what?
Well, we this last one, we won the Battle of the Bands. Actually.
Oh, that's cool.
awesome.
And
Second
so we-
year in a row.
Yeah, second year in a row.
Oh.
So we started off with Queen. So, you know how Queen does "God Save the Queen,"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
all the harmony guitars and stuff like that. So we started off that way, and our lead singer comes out with a robe and a tiara, like a long robe and a scepter, and he's just blessing the people, right? And then he pulls it off, right, and we go into "God Save the Queen" by the Sex Pistols.
Oh,
right?
Oh,
nice.
awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and just rock as shit. It's the first time I ever
Yeah.
done that shit. And
It's
it's like,
That's fun, isn't
wow, you guys, that is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Anyway, sorry, I
it?
digress.
No, that's fine.
well, I'm gonna give you a little bit of history here on myself. So when I moved to Canada, I had played in a punk rock. I grew up in Mexico, and I had played in a punk rock band in Mexico. But I wanted to do something more, or so I thought. So when I moved to Canada, I started a I guess you would call it a rock band. And so we were playing with a bunch of guys, and I just hated every moment of it. And then I found a couple of guys, well, Ed and our ex-drummer, and I was like, we were all into punk rock, so I'm like, why don't we do a punk band? And I've never had so much fun playing music as I do.
Yeah.
That's
I've played
awesome.
all kinds of music, and punk rock brings me the absolute most joy. So that's
That's what
Yeah.
music is
why we
supposed to
stick
do.
to it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just makes that connection, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, when your spirit and that spirit connect, and
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can feel it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, eh? That's where
That's
you're
really
at.
good.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Next question. Well, this one's for you, Jeffrey. That's at what age did you start playing guitar?
Seeing this is not like a subtle form of ageism, is it?
No, we can clearly see that you're 29.
Yeah.
29, yeah. He's a year older than me.
Actually, I am in my mind 23 years old. I am fully, maximally 23, and I just feel I don't think I'm going to get any older than this.
That's good.
So
Well, but somebody told me that growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
for
way to
sure.
put it, yeah.
I'm living
Yeah.
that 100%.
Yeah, us too. We
Oh.
try to be very immature.
I'm
all
still
the
at
time.
I'm still at 12 or 13 somewhere there.
Wow.
Just like puberty.
So,
What?
so it was my sister's boyfriend. He comes over with his electric guitar. I'm 13 years old, and he plays a song by April Wine. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through the whole thing.
Oh.
But
What?
what was really cool about it, though, is like I had never seen somebody play a rock song on a guitar
Right.
ever live, and I was watching, and I'm thinking, man, that looks like I can do that, right? And so I picked up the guitar right after I saw that and learned that whole thing. I listened to the record and learned that whole thing, and after that I realized, okay,
I can do that.
I can play rock and roll.
Yeah.
So then I started learning Kiss songs, and then I realized about 2 months in, after I knew every Kiss song, so shit, this is a shitty band. I didn't know that at first.
You should have started with Gene Simmons' bass lines.
I did actually. I did.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. How could you not, right? That was so cool. Yeah. So anyway, I was
wow.
13.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
And
was your
then,
first guitar?
My first guitar. Holy shit! Wow, good question. Oh God, it
There's
was
so many.
No, it was a Telecaster copy, and it was, I believe, a Cort.
Okay.
A Cort.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a really cool guitar. You bet.
Nice.
And then we played a couple of gigs pretty quick on, like maybe a year in, we were already performing.
You and
So-
your sister's boyfriend? together?
No, me and Karen Dell, who's in the Bear Yogis.
Okay. Yeah.
Jack Eastbeck, who used to be with Mountain City,
Mm-hmm.
the guitarist there, and then there's a guy named Randy Jansen and Cliff Fair. They're not here around. But anyway, that was a good time for sure.
Nice.
That's sweet. That's super cool.
That is good. Wow.
Josh, who inspired you to sing?
Who inspired me to sing? Wow, there's been so many inspirations. I guess I can kind of go through what started me into singing
Sure.
and then kind of go from there. I guess I'm like a church boy, or was a church boy, and started through the praise team and choir in school, and I guess I've always been inspired by like soul singers and like Aretha Franklin,
Like
and
big voices.
big voices, and like really blues, and love the soul and blues, and yeah, there isn't anybody specific that I can name. There's
It
so
wasn't
many of
Michael
them.
Bubble.
Like I love Michael Bublé.
Did you go see him?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I
I
wasn't
was
lucky
so
enough
mad.
to. Yeah.
Okay,
I was-
Josh,
I wanted to go.
Give him a little sweetness. Go, hey, you know, one of your cool things.
What?
Yeah, just do that. just kind of that Aretha Franklin feel or whatever.
Aretha Franklin feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Do
Yeah.
it. Do it.
'Cause you make me feel like a natural woman.
Yeah, that's buttery.
There you
we
go.
That's first
That's
song.
awesome.
First song that came to mind.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hey.
Well, with that, we're going to go into a break real quick.
That's the perfect time.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Josh just blessed us with his beautiful voice before we went on break.
Yay, Josh.
Thank you.
You know what? I have a question that I'm really proud of putting together, and that's the one I was most excited to ask you. If the mood was Batman villains, who would be who?
Oh my God.
Holy oh my gosh. Last thing I would ever think of.
You're the penguin. You're the penguin.
I am not the penguin. Don't even. What?
The Danny DeVito one?
Sure.
Okay, Danny DeVito's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Who are you, Jeff?
Oh my God.
Are you
Who
the-
am I, Josh?
are you the
Maybe you can
Riddler?
tell me.
He's the Joker.
The Joker?
Yeah, I am, eh?
Sure, yeah. The Joker.
And Gil?
Oh,
Ooh.
he's silent, but
He's like the
deadly.
Iceman.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze?
No,
Mr.
we don't
Freeze?
have Mr.
Not
Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. No.
No, he's more of a personality. He's
Yeah,
got more
yeah.
villain personality.
Hush.
Yeah.
Like,
Crush?
Hush.
Hush. I don't even know who Hush is.
No, that's...
Like,
that was only from one of the
That's the
series.
modern one, obviously.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
He could be Scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
He lives out in a field somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah,
Scarecrow. Yeah, because
Living on
he
the
shoots
field, yeah.
guns and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you be, Goose?
Batman villain? I'd be the Riddler.
The Riddler, yeah.
But with lame jokes
Riddler
instead
is
of
so
riddles.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a righteous one. I didn't know.
I would like to be the Bane.
Yeah.
Bane.
Bane. Yeah, you would
Yeah.
be Bane.
The fire rises. I was born in it.
Wow.
adopted the darkness.
Yes, that was a good question. I think that was.
Yeah. Very,
I
very
thought it was
well
very fun.
put together.
Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you.
So I have a couple questions from Instagram. One of them is, why so moody?
Why so moody? I feel that you need to be a little moody. I like to give a little sass once in a while.
Yeah.
It's like people are watching you, you just give them the little eye. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Another one is, what if your legs didn't know they were legs? What would you do?
I assume that I would just not know that I had.
I guess
legs,
so.
and
It
I
was
would
just like,
stare forward and just like,
I would ask my arms to be the legs.
yeah. That's a good answer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd be like
Like a yoga pose.
Yeah.
Intense
like
yoga
Joe
pose.
from Family Guy.
I had to really think
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No.
And is it a big mood or is it a small mood? Is it depending on the day, maybe?
Man, there's a lot of mood puns
Wow.
on there.
I thought in mood world size doesn't count.
There's big moods and there's small moods.
Exactly.
They fluctuate.
Yeah.
Mood fluctuations.
We'll call it continuum mood.
Yeah. Mood swings.
Yeah.
the mood, the continuum.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Something
It's like a
that.
movie.
So if you guys were a swing band, it'd be Mood Swings.
Yes. Yeah. Right on. Yeah.
Good one. Yeah.
If you metal band, it'd be like Mood Militia or something like
Mood
that.
militia.
Ah, probably.
Yeah.
The dead mood.
Rotten flesh mood.
Wow.
But it's then written in those squiggly fonts that you
That
can't
nobody
read.
can read.
Right? Yeah. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah.
But it is nice. It's got a good feel though. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
badass, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys get into other podcasts? Like, do you listen to like Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I
or-
do that. Terrence McKenna's a big one for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Have
not-
you heard
I'm
of
not
Terrence
familiar.
McKenna?
No.
Well, he's like a Harvard professor gone rogue, like Timothy Leary. Maybe
Okay.
you might have heard of him before.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's the founder of psychedelics, actually. And
Okay.
he used to be
Oh, yeah.
the professor at UCLA in the 1960s. He was doing experiments. Anyway, Terrence kind of grew up in that era, and he decided to move to the jungles in Peru and take ayahuasca and their psilocybin brews and all these psychedelic things to have these spiritual experiences like the tribe leaders were having.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he did that, and he dedicated his whole life to going into psilocybin trips and taking very large doses and journaling it and coming back and then teaching it to universities and various places around the world. And so he's got literally 100 different YouTube talks, and he has now passed away. But Terrence McKenna, but he's really
Terrence
cool.
McKenna.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that YouTuber? Oh man, why can I not remember his name? You know the MythBusters? He went on tour with one of them. What's his name again? Anyway, it doesn't matter. He has a YouTube Red Show, and he did something like that where he went and did shrooms and then documented everything.
Oh, really?
But he
Okay.
did it on like YouTube paid him to do this.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting, eh?
Very surprised that wasn't taken down.
Yeah.
But it's YouTube Red, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not like general
Yeah.
public. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like
So is it an original then, like a YouTube
it's,
original?
It's
Wow.
something
Yeah.
mined because it's all about science.
Right. But you know, it's so fascinating because really it's all about, you know, taking down the barriers that society has put upon us, you
Yeah.
know, and thinking about life in a way that is more based to our human nature versus, you know, the rules of, you know, society put places upon us, like, you know, the rules of marriage and the rules of the way who is the breadwinner and who is not the breadwinner and equality and stuff. Anyway, so it's really mind opening.
Interesting. So
That's cool.
But I do pay my taxes. Just so you know. Yeah, I do.
That's good.
I
That's
pay
good to
taxes,
know.
everybody.
might be every 5 years, but I do it. No, that's cool. So while we're on that subject, like, what do you think of these flat earthers?
They're batshit crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's like, you just stand on a horizon and look, and you can see them all. So,
I
I
know.
watched a little bit
Yeah.
of the Netflix.
Yeah, me too. I just finished
Yeah.
watching it last weekend over the weekend, and it was so funny. It was really entertaining.
Don't they like disprove themselves on that documentary?
Well, yeah. At the end, they
Basically,
yeah,
yeah.
they have a camera set up, and they
Yes.
said if it's rounded, we'll have to lift up the light. If not, if we'll have it at a certain distance, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
But they couldn't see it, so the guy's like, okay, maybe lift it up. So he does, and that's when it shows. So it
They literally proved that the
proved
Earth is
that it
round.
was So I mean, they went on. Just, yeah.
My favorite line is still flat earthers are getting together all over the globe.
right, eh?
Right?
Yeah.
all around
the globe,
yeah.
But you know, of all the things, the cool things you could believe in, like the Palladians coming down and populating with Earth and all that cool stuff.
And all the stuff Alec Jones spews.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, perfect. Right. Yeah, well, those are more interesting than just flat Earth. Come on,
Yeah.
like, have a little
Like we're
imagination.
surrounded by ice walls. Like,
What is this, Game of Thrones?
right? I know.
There's
The
White Walkers on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, they compared it to that Jim Carrey movie where,
Oh.
where he lives in a town like
Yeah.
since birth or something.
Right.
What is that one again?
The
Something.
Truman Show?
Truman Show,
Show,
yeah, right.
Where it's
Yeah.
like he tries to escape, but it's like a wall. And like
Yeah.
that's what they compared it to.
Yeah.
Just reminds you of like Mario 64. Like when these little levels, they had invisible walls. There's so far the programmer would let you go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
dunk.
yeah.
well, see, and then there's also people who think that they literally adapted the Matrix as a thing, right? Like they think that we're all just part of a programming, and
That was a wonderful movie.
it was.
It was
It
very
really
profound.
Opened up people's minds to like, oh,
Yeah.
well, like
I was at that point in my life, I was deeply religious, and that movie just brought such a big religious theme inside of it.
Right. It was the Jesus story.
Yeah,
practically.
really, and so it really resonated well, and I thought it was so clever of the writers, right, to do that.
Man, I was just in it for the slow motion, man.
Yeah, that was
slow
cool
motion,
too.
like
eh?
fighting, yeah, for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
still in the
I mean-
mushroom trip though,
Well,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, the first movie was one of the, I guess, the first big movies that used that slow motion well, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
that was
They're the first
gorgeous.
ones
So
to
it
use
was-
that multi-camera angle
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
where like
Yeah.
they would jump and the
Oh,
camera
yeah.
angle would change.
It's
and when I saw
crazy.
that, I was blown away. I'm
Yeah.
like, what just happened
Yeah.
here? Yeah, it was really cool.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw that movie the first time I ever went to Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like you can almost
it,
never
it
forget.
sticks with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never forget that movie.
yeah, the Toronto Matrix trip.
yeah, exactly.
The
One-
blue
one
pill
and
or
the
the
same.
red pill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, speaking of movies, do you guys have any favorites? Like, I mean, Matrix seems like pretty high up there, but do you
That
have
was
any
really
other
good,
ones?
yeah.
Like,
Contact. I gotta say, Contact
okay, yeah.
with Jodie Foster. Have
Yeah.
you seen that one?
I've never seen it.
Oh
Can't
my
say
God! There's portals going across time and space into a different zone,
Oh,
and she's trying to meet her father who had passed away as a child, and there's an alien
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's right. I
Just
love that.
amazing show.
Yeah.
Gotta see it. Contact. Yeah.
Contact.
I guess
How about
like
you?
movie, I would say like Scarlett Johansson in Lucy. I love,
Oh, yeah,
I love
okay.
that movie.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like one of my favorites right now.
Really?
That came out like a year ago, but Yeah, haven't found any other one. Oh, Transformers. I love that series.
Really?
I love the Transformers series.
Wow.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's
he's
that's
a
like
total
saying I love
nerd.
Nickelback.
No way.
That is exactly what it is.
Transformers is the Nickelback of movies.
Yeah.
Like,
So what do you think of, what did you
I am
think,
not ashamed. I'm not
no,
ashamed.
you don't have to.
what did you think of the Bumblebee movie? Like the
I
last
actually
one?
liked how they did they kind of backtracked all the way.
You know,
back.
to be 100% honest, I think that one's my favorite one.
It's a nice
And
story.
it's probably because Michael Bay wasn't the director.
See,
It
but
made a big difference.
It
I
did,
like,
actually.
I like Michael Bay movies, like
Yeah.
The Island. Have you ever seen that?
The Island, yeah.
That's
Well,
With
it's-
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, this one's
that's
the other
Shutter
one.
Island.
Oh, that's Shutter
So
Island.
The
yeah.
Island is also Scarlett Johansson
Yes.
and Ewan McGregor,
Jedi,
like Obi-Wan.
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll just give you a
Yeah, just
short
a little
snippet,
tidbit,
but
yeah.
so they live on this island. They find out that they're clones for, like, they've been cloned for organ harvesting. So when they're owners,
I have seen that movie. Yeah.
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 it's great.
Wow.
It's great.
The
movie.
story is the best in there.
Because the
Like, it
owners
was
are
really cool.
The owners are like the wealthy
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's
Pretty cool.
crazy.
I was
Intense,
kind of
yeah.
thinking maybe when
It's
we
intense.
came here that was going to happen to us. Like, they'd be storing us somewhere.
Well, when the
It's not a
camera
hoax,
shuts
right?
off, then
Yeah, I know,
we
eh?
go behind the gray curtain.
The gray shirt.
Yeah, you know, I have to tell you, like, just sitting here while you guys are getting ready, and I've never done this before.
Yeah.
I've been on the radio before, but not like this. And it just feels like we're sitting somewhere in uptown New York in a loft, and I got these kind of
Yeah.
cool, crazy-looking dudes that are sounding awesome. Like, it's just so out of the norm right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
It's
It's a
beautiful.
cool experience.
It's
yeah.
like just transporting into a different
Yeah.
world, right?
Oh,
So,
awesome!
thank you
I'm
so
glad
much.
that
Ah, that is cool.
I'll take it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure. Hey, man, I wish we were in a loft.
You will. You're gonna
Goodness.
do whatever you want to do.
Who says
right?
we're not?
Yeah, yeah.
I know. Oh, I see what you're
This is right.
doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
in a different matrix right now.
Yeah.
I want one with bricks, nice square
Yeah.
bricks, and
Yeah.
really beautiful windows.
Yeah.
I agree. That's awesome. So, what are you guys listening to right now? Like,
You know,
Do
the
you want
fir-
to think? Do you want to think a
the,
bit?
the
and then-
first thing that
okay.
comes to me is actually I've been really listening to Sam Smith.
Oh, I love Sam Smith.
Yeah.
You too?
I
You've
love
been
Sam
listening?
Smith,
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Josh kind of introduced him to me, and it took me a while to open my mind up, and then just listening to his voice, right? So that's really cool, and then of course I've been listening to a lot of Santana lately.
mhm.
Right.
Sure. So those
Yeah.
are the two things I am.
Yeah, so I mirror the Sam Smith for sure, but then I like Aretha Franklin, Etta James. I still listen to the oldies, but then yet I'm listening to some like new modern stuff. I love Adele. I'll always love Adele.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. So those are some of my favorites,
Nice.
and not Nickelback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Nickelback, like, do you guys have any guilty pleasures that you guys listening to? Like something that
Oh, Black Sabbath. That's my guilty pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah, I dig pretty much everything they
Paranoid.
do.
Paranoid is
Well,
such a good tune.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
You like that song,
Oh, yeah,
Paranoid? That's
I
one of
do.
my worst songs of Black
Really?
Sabbath. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's got more of a punk feel,
Yeah,
right?
it does. Yeah.
And yeah,
that would make
I-
a great cover, actually.
Oh,
yeah, you should do it, man. Like everyone would dig that.
Yeah.
Wow, because everyone knows it, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, hang on. 10%.
Are you the director now?
I'm taking 10% of whatever you're taking out.
You can have it.
Okay.
You can have it.
Okay, it's on record, guys. 10%.
Yeah, 10%.
Yeah, score, man. I got
Who is this
10%
guy?
of
Who
Josh
is
too.
this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like guilty pleasure would be like
Nickelback?
No. It's like deny.
You need a discussion with management about how to talk about this,
No,
Josh.
no, no, no,
Okay.
No,
you guys want to
Backstreet-
have a huddle?
yeah, I'd have to say like from high school, it's been Backstreet Boys has been like my guilty pleasure.
You
Okay.
are.
Yeah. Right. But like another one that I've been into like for a long time is Lady Gaga. I just love how her music has evolved over like her whole career.
Yeah.
It's just so different.
Yeah, and she's hot.
cool.
Lady Gaga
she's
is
a
hot.
cool. I think like we would be like super good friends.
Yeah.
How are we doing for time?
I was just gonna check.
4 minutes? Yeah, we can.
We'll go for another break.
Yeah, let's just do it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back. We were just talking about guilty pleasures here with The Mood. The Mood.
The mood.
With a D at the end, big D.
Yeah, big D.
The big D. It's not a small big D.
So speaking of big D's, so we were bashing Nickelback a little bit, but me and my girlfriend went and saw them in November when they came out.
Oh wow.
They put on an amazing show.
Yeah.
Honestly.
They're probably good live. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I can't say much.
sweet.
I've seen them live probably four times.
Yeah.
Wow, that many?
Yeah.
It's your fault that they're still touring so much.
No, like you
As
say,
fault.
they put on a phenomenal show. Like that's what they do, and they do it really well. And most of the time, it was the opener that I actually went, because one time I think it was Seether.
Oh, yeah.
I forget. Yeah, it's an excuse.
Yeah,
but
no, I was going to ask you that. What did you buy? Just go to them
No,
for them, or
not
did you?
just for them,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, okay.
It was
So-
the opener that they had, but yeah, I enjoyed. I did enjoy the concert. I can't say I didn't.
They're
It was-
professionals, right? They're
Yeah,
great
absolutely.
entertainers and
Yeah.
Every sense of the
good
word.
songwriters, right?
Yeah. So I used to, I guess, not like him as much, but then I quickly realized I think I was just saying that because of that's the norm. People expect you to do it,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and so now I'm like, you know what? It.
Yeah.
I like some of their songs. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
Yes.
Right.
I don't.
Comment.
They're coming out of the closet, man, eh?
Exactly. It's out.
Guilty
It's
pleasure.
okay, I'll
That
accept
is,
you.
no, it's definitely one of them. Right? It's
comment.
it's not like-
I love it.
it's not like I listen to them all the time, but you know.
Well, they're
whatever.
formula songwriters. They know
Yeah.
what works on the radio. They
They
know
know
what
for
makes
sure.
money,
Yeah.
and they just rock and roll.
Yeah.
Well, it
They
works.
probably buy their music already. I'm sure that it's not all written
Oh
by
yeah,
them.
probably. But
But anyway,
They've
that's
got
my
some
2 cents
crazy
on
guitar
Nickelback.
lines
Yeah.
in that, actually.
Yeah.
and one of the songs they actually used Dimebag Darrell's guitar riffs
Ah.
Wow.
because they were actually really good friends with him. And when he passed away, they asked if they could use those guitar riffs in one of the songs. And it was
It's like, really?
Yeah.
It's
One of my-
like, sorry, you're dying. Hey, can we use it?
No, like because he got shot, right?
Okay.
So they
Oh,
asked
okay.
his brother if they could use those guitar riffs on their song.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and
gotcha.
okay.
And then
yeah.
his brother said, "Yeah, absolutely."
So
they
post
did.
mortem,
Exactly.
permission.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, one time my uncle was trying to tell me about Pantera, but he couldn't remember the band name. So he's like, "Well, that guy, you know, douchebag Daryl."
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we laughed so hard.
Daryl.
I really hope he's gonna watch this episode. I think it's so.
But I mean, speaking of that, like, are there any bands? Because I threw it out. Are there any bands that you guys might like that most people tell you that you shouldn't like? Kind of like a Nickelback. Is there anything that you
Tell me
guys-
that I shouldn't like.
Well, it's something that most people are like, you know, these guys are garbage, but you secretly, it's almost, I guess, a guilty pleasure, but not. But you secretly are just like, you know what, I love these guys so
Yeah.
much, or
Yeah.
you know, this band kicks ass.
Like, I guess, like, I've always listened to Celine Dion.
No.
And
Oh, God, eh?
nobody out, like, okay.
I don't know if my heart can go on.
Your heart can't go on. Oh my god.
Edit that out, okay?
It's like fall off the Titanic now. But like,
Fucking serious.
vocally, I just like love the way like you can just basically.
It's fine, Josh. It's fine.
It's okay. Okay. But like you can just kind of tune into her like vocal timbre, and it's like I don't know. It's very peaceful, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's very like clear.
Yeah.
Very. Yeah. I don't know. How to
There's a reason she has a Vegas show. Man.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So
How about
must be
you,
doing
Jeff?
something right.
Well, I do really like Jesse Cook. Like he's kind of Spanish classical with a bit of a kind of a international world beat feel. And so that's kind of like I put that on and goes like, what? Well, that's kind of weird. I also like the really late 1960s German electronic bands like Kraftwerk.
Okay.
Isn't it Kraftwerk?
Kraftwerk.
Is that
You can-
that blues song? Like,
They
blue,
do
remember?
fahren auf die Autobahn. Fahren down. No? Oh, wow. It's like they're the originators of EDM today,
Really?
right?
No
Yep.
way.
Yeah, Kraftwerk is B1, and then the other one is Tangerine Dream with Klaus Schultz. And Edgar Froese came in after Klaus Schultz, and I found with Edgar Froese, the synth wasn't as good, but with Klaus Schultz, it was amazing. And that's just so trippy and electronic, and it just takes you
Yeah.
so far away. And that nobody thinks I should be into that either. 'Cause when I play that at a party, it's like people kind of walk away after a while.
Well, that actually brings you right into one of the questions I have.
Yeah,
here.
I was going to say that too.
Like, what do you guys think about the current? Like, there's a very big uproar of like, I don't know if I call it EDM. They're calling it EDM, but it's not exactly dance music. Like Chainsmokers and 21 Pilots or Avicii. Like,
Oh yeah.
Well, Avicii's dance.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He would be, but like Chainsmokers, like they do some cool stuff. Or even Avicii, he has some stuff that sounds like folk music, but it has it's all just computerized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like experimenting with that stuff is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We want to get into that actually a little bit more.
Yeah.
Into using a little bit more diversity in instruments. Not that we have a lack of that now.
I have I have a really cool Moog foot synth. It's called a Moog Taurus pedal. So
I
a
think
church
that's-
organ has these pedals.
So
Yeah.
what Rush used?
Yeah, Geddy Lee from Rush and Rick Wakeman from the band Yes used it as well. Yeah, so I have one of those. So I've been using that, and it's a modern version. So it's a hybrid between analog and digital. And so you go into the analog sounds, and you get that old stuff, but the digital, like, it sounds really modern.
Does it have like MIDI capabilities?
Yeah, full MIDI
Really?
functionality, and the sounds are just so deep, low, and rich, right? So I'm
Full of tone.
yeah,
Oh,
working on that right now with an original tune. So it'll be the first time us experimenting with synth,
Okay.
like in a
Yeah.
synthy way, instead of just holding, like our keyboard player holds down chords, but she doesn't experiment with tone and
Not
rhythmic.
yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Like finding unique sounds and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
manipulate
Yeah.
it to whatever you want. Yeah, that's cool.
So you said you had original tune. Do you guys have a timeline for a? Well, I guess you shouldn't put a timeline. We know better than putting a timeline to a record, but
Our album's coming out next year, and then 3 years
3
later,
years
it's
later.
still not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
like, do you have quite a few
know how that
songs
goes.
already written for the album? Or
What do we got? We have
Thinking of
1,
about
2,
seven.
3. Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7 right now. Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Just like-
they're like not in their 100% final stage, but by the time we get to recording,
Fine-tuning it.
yeah, because it's you fine tune when the pressure's on, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's
So
what I
did you-
find.
Did you take a Berkeley course? Did I see that right?
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful online course. Go ahead.
Songwriting course?
No, that's one I want to take.
I did that one.
The Berkeley Songwriter.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, because I saw that you did a submission for Berkeley. I was like,
that was
that looks
guitar.
like-
Yeah,
okay. Cool. Yeah, I did the songwriting one. It was awesome.
Oh, it was,
That's
eh?
great.
I was really tempted to take that one, but I
You
took a
you
different
should.
one. Like
It comes around like every, I think, 8 or 9 months or something. And one of the songs I wrote for that is actually going to be on our second album whenever that
Nice.
comes out.
Can you share
That's
how
awesome.
you formulated it?
Yeah, so he I can't even remember the teacher's name.
Doesn't matter.
No, it's not relevant.
So he said there's tons of ways you can do it, but come up with a concept that you want the story in, right?
The hook.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then he says, put it in a box. That's verse 1. And then put it in a larger box to tell more of the story. That's verse 2. And then put it in a giant box. That's verse 3. And everything in between the boxes is your bridge or your lead guitarist
Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
Right.
So
Cool.
me being a punk rocker and not being very inspired that day, I was like, I'm going to write a song about Back to the Future. So I named it 88 Miles an Hour. and
Nice.
I was the only one that got an A in that for that song.
Awesome.
I was really proud of myself.
Right, eh?
And so that's going to be one of the new songs, hopefully.
Yeah.
on the
Isn't it great
album.
when you get feedback from your instructor, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's-
you get real,
That's
true
pretty cool.
feedback.
Well, it's really humbling when you have to record it. Because you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
There's no hiding behind anything. Like
Right.
you have to record
Yeah.
this and
Yeah.
you have to send it in.
Okay.
And you have a deadline. Like there's
Right.
no
Yeah,
right on,
exactly,
eh?
You
right?
can't be
Like-
that classic procrastinator that you're
Yeah.
used to
Oh,
being.
I know. The pace is actually pretty intense.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
it's
for
hard.
sure. I so enjoyed it. It actually took my guitar playing to the next level.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And it did the same thing for my songwriting skills.
Awesome.
We have some pretty good songs in
In the works.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of what we got. Album 2 is coming along nicely.
Can you guys like explain? Because I've heard you a little bit. I've seen your video. I love your video, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't know how many you have out there, but
Eric Peters.
Yeah.
okay, you
Looking at
rock, Eric. Love you.
Yeah.
So,
We have just the one video right
okay,
now.
but your band, like, would you sound like another band out there, or you have a completely different sound than every other band out there?
No. Does that exist?
I don't know. I wanted to.
What we wanted to sound like was like Blink-182.
Okay.
But what actually came out was more like,
Well, see, the thing is,
I don't know.
me
Chris.
and Goose, I guess we're
Chris,
influenced
who do
by
you think we sound like
Blink-182.
the most?
Sum 41. He loves MXPX. Chris, he's behind the camera. He loves MXPX quite a bit. So I mean, there's a lot of different punk genres that we were influenced by. I think
honestly-
originally we were also a little bit Rise Against like, even though I don't think we wanted to be. It just
I did.
well,
See,
I guess so. Maybe.
Well, and that's, if I would say something about our first album, every song has a different punk genre within the punks. So there's like a song in there that would be considered hardcore punk. There's a song that would be considered West Coast
Sure, yeah.
surfer punk.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and
it's
So
just-
many
that's-
different things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
and-
like
and
blues. You got the Uptown blues, the jump
Yeah.
blues.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I honestly feel that on Out of Time, our first album, we hit like 5 or 6 different punk genres.
Nice.
Nice.
And I like that.
Yeah. It's good
Diversity,
to
yeah.
have that diversity on there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just and a lot of those songs, they were like really early songs that we wrote. We just needed to record them already. So I think in hindsight we might have not have done it. I don't know. We just wanted them done.
I think currently we only play 4 out of the 12, 11 songs
Right,
on
sure,
the album.
yeah.
But we had, like you said, we had to get them out, and we had been hanging on to them for far too long, so we just.
Yeah, if you
needed
don't
to-
move on it, they're gonna sit there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
like,
that was
yeah.
one way for us to just move on. Just like
Yeah.
get rid of them. They're
Yeah.
on a CD now
Yeah.
or Spotify nowadays, I guess.
Plug. Yeah. You can find it here.
Yeah, wait, you guys are here for us to be questioning you, not the other way around.
No, but I was thank you for answering that question.
Yeah, it's awesome. It took us like what was it, a year to put out Purple Rain.
Oh God, yeah.
We recorded
It
it.
always takes
Yeah.
longer, right?
Well,
Yeah.
our producer, our engineer,
Farms, right?
yeah, he farms and
Well,
plays
Gil
it.
has
Yeah,
a studio.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually recorded there before.
Okay, yeah,
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, so we recorded it 6 months ago or more, and then we came back to it, and we ended up wanting to change a bunch of things before, and I'm like, no, I love it. So it's like when you're in it, you want to change everything all the time. You take a break, it's magical.
We put in some really badass distorted guitar.
Yeah.
Just at the end where Josh is going, woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah,
Try it.
sort of
Just do
like
that. Just do that.
Oh my god, it's so high. No, I won't.
Yeah, right there. You can do it. Just like that.
No, they don't edit it. They don't edit it.
We do not.
Right. So he's doing that, right? And I've just got these great sounds. So I'm using a Fender Strat that's tuned down a step because it matches his tones nicely. So we tune to the singer
Yeah.
instead of playing standard
They
pitch.
cater.
Like flat?
Yeah, we have to go down usually a full step, 2 frets down,
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
for Josh.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so that matches him so well, and then we can use the open strings then, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, when you're down there, it's a little grungier, and my strings are a little heavier because I have to have the tension.
Right.
And I'm playing through a really nice amp called Suhr, S-U-H-R. It's an American-made, one of these
boutique
hand
amp.
things.
Yeah.
And just the tone that we
Yeah.
got on there, I'm just,
It's
you're proud of
gorgeous.
some of your shit. I'm
Yeah.
so proud, just
Yeah.
to get those sounds in there. And I I created my own lead guitar solo in there
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, cool.
I decided
Yeah.
not to follow what Prince.
The Prince one.
Yeah.
So where can
Yeah.
we find that song?
It's not technically released.
Yeah.
But
we'll send it to you.
We'll send it to you.
Nice.
All right.
It's such a long song though. Like man, like
We always
6
call
minutes long.
Like if we submit to a radio station, we called it the number 2 song. So then it's like they can go and take a number 2 while they're the disc jockey kind of thing,
See, Prince is one of those
It's a gift
artists
to them.
that I never understood.
Me either.
Like Purple Rain's probably the only song I even know of Prince's.
Right. Yeah. I never gave him a chance ever. Like, you know, because like
Like
the
a-
guy
I saw
was,
his guitar and I was like, "Nah."
Yeah. Yeah.
That guitar is so
Yeah,
great. I
yeah,
love that
but
guitar.
you know, but there was underneath it there was brilliance,
Yeah.
right? And so
yeah.
I mean, now that he's passed away, like we decided to do Purple
Yeah,
Rain because of
yeah.
Josh's voice. It's a good fit, right? And we really just gave it as much respect and honor as we could, and you really uncover a lot of beautiful musicality there for sure.
Did you know that he was Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
And that
you-
once
door
a
to
year
door,
he would
yeah.
still go door to door
Yeah.
in Minnesota.
That's
Yeah.
wow. I didn't.
It's crazy.
I couldn't believe that. Yeah.
Job, man.
That's
Like-
amazing.
Man, you're so
Right?
rich you don't need Jesus, man. But if you're poor, I get it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Casey Neistat said that people say the money can't make you happy. Well, that's bullshit.
Well,
Right?
because yeah, that's a really
That-
good video.
I
If
know,
you guys
yeah.
haven't seen it, like Casey Neistat goes through why money can make you happy, but in which categories it makes you happy, right? So obviously it can make you happy because it allows you to focus on different things in life. So it allows you to focus on loved ones or anything else that you're doing. You're not always under stress about finances.
Yeah,
right?
that is the
So-
stress.
Yeah. So I mean, I thought that was a really good video. So yeah.
I've lived both. I've lived in real abject poverty where like no food in the house, looking for a can of beans, right? To living, maybe at this stage I'd be considered middle class or upper middle class now. So that contrast. And it is easier here on this side where I am now, but you always have a fear that it could come back. It could come back, and so I'm always a little afraid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's probably not a bad place to be, though. You're aware of the change that could happen.
Yeah, and I think I'm even a little prepared for it. Like, it can't always go nice, right? Shit happens.
Well, I think Terry Crews said it too. He says the biggest fear is going back to how poor he used to be, right?
Yeah.
And he just never wants to go back to that.
Yeah.
He says it's not like he's greedy or anything. Terry Crews is a great dude, but he says that's one of his biggest fear. He doesn't want his family to go through what he went through.
Right.
So that's one of the motivations he has to keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do
really
you
cool.
feel about money?
Oh man, I don't know.
Sorry, we're on 2 minutes here.
Okay.
Okay.
We can take another break and then finish that conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, welcome back. Jeff just asked me about how I feel about money,
Dun dun dun.
and I'll think about it. I'm just kidding.
Just leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, I think me and Jeff are very close to agreeing on money. I think you just want to. I just want to be comfortable. That's I think. If I can get more than that, then obviously
Financially stable.
Yeah. Yeah, not being dependent on being financially
Independent.
Is that, yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
You guys know what
You
we
got
mean.
it. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Why use lot word when little word do trick?
Wow. Well done.
But yeah, no,
Gold
that's
star, man.
Yeah.
Gold
Thanks.
Star, yeah.
Put it
Yeah,
on the
I
forehead.
just
right?
think if you don't have to worry about money so much, it makes life better. And if you can, anybody can achieve that. That's awesome. Hopefully, anybody can do that.
Yeah, not everybody can, but
No.
for sure. That's,
Yeah.
we're the lucky ones that are there for sure.
Yeah, living where we do, we've won some kind of a lottery.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, this
for
is
sure.
a great place to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Sometimes we forget that, but it's true.
I think in the middle of winter, for you for sure. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget
Yeah.
that in winter
We-
often.
yeah.
We pay for that lottery dearly.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
that's crazy.
hurricanes. No dangerous spiders and snakes and
Mhm.
yeah, it's nice.
But you are afraid of rushing water.
Well, okay.
We have a creek below our place, on the hill over there,
It gets
right?
really
Russia.
full.
It's actually-
Water from Russia or rushing water?
Russian water. Yeah.
That's why you're
Wow.
afraid. Now I get it.
Wow.
Okay, from Russia.
It's called vodka.
Yeah, exactly.
Russian vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything you guys want to leave the viewers?
Do we want to talk about dates like this summer or
No, we can't really talk
We
about
can't
dates.
release that
Do
yet.
you guys have shows lined up though?
Yeah.
For the summer?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's-
Awesome.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
We're-
follow them
Well,
on Facebook
yeah.
and Instagram.
Yeah.
You guys have
we'll
yeah, you
we'll
guys
link.
do have
yeah,
Instagram.
we got
We'll link
something
it
I'll
in
there.
send you the
episode.
link below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us. It was
Yeah.
really
Thanks for
lots
coming.
of fun.
It
It was
Yeah.
a pleasure.
You
Yeah.
both are very thoughtful and amazing people,
very
hosts.
lovely.
You've done a great job.
Thank you very much.
Aw.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
did you hear that, people?
Yeah.
That puts me in a great mood.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I would be like the Riddler, but with lame jokes.
Wow. Wow. Question mark.
Yeah. Cool. Tune in next time, and new episodes every Monday. Peace.
Hey, you
Thanks for watching this week's episode.
of the Green Room.
We got a Patreon account if you want to help us make better videos. The link is in the description below.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And we got some more videos for you to watch, and tune in every Monday.
See ya.
Bye.